Hey, what's going on everybody? This is G The Hypersapien, and in this video we're going to take a look at Warhammer commemorative series The Red Gobbo and Bounca. So in this box you get one miniature. You basically have the warnings. So on the back you get these nice Christmas decorations. These balls are coming down and they have the different images on them. And then you have the full miniature here, and that's 100%, so that's the size of the miniature. Made in UK, Citadel Miniatures. And they have a guide here at citadelcolor.com/guide. But let's bust this open and have a look. Disappointing. I was expecting one of those little black trays. That's why I was sort of trying to grab for a tray and it's just loose in there. But we have the sprue, we have the build guide. Like always, we'll take a look at the build guide. Before assembling your miniatures, please read through the instructions in this booklet carefully. A pair of plastic cutters is required to remove the plastic components in this kit from their frame. We advise using a mold line scraping tool to clean up the parts. To assemble your model, you will need plastic glue. So here we have the contents. So this is the sprue we saw before. So step 1, we move to the side here. So it's 1, 2 and 3. So you can see you've got Bounca here, you've got his leg and the bit of the Christmas tree. Now it looks like this third part here is his tongue. It looks like there's some Christmas decorations on there, some lights and some balls and whatnot. And then piece 1 is the rest of Bounca with his tail. Then we jump back over to here and we have piece 4 and piece 5. So we have the scenic base, has a bit of obviously decoration on the base. Piece 4 is Bounca's face. Now step 2 is 6 and 8. So this looks like it's some of the Red Gobbo, but also some of Bounca. So that's Bounca's leg by the look of it. Some of Red Gobbo's cape and then his foot. And then you can see the actual foot itself attaches to the leg. This is a bit of another angle here. We jump down to here. This is 9 and 11. So that looks like it's more of the Red Gobbo, a bit of his cloak or cape, and then his foot and leg. So we glue these pieces together, and then you can see some of his coat there. And you can see some of his coat here, some of his coat and Bounca's leg here. So that goes into this piece here, obviously on the side of Bounca. And this bit of his coat goes onto the top of the miniature here, on top of Bounca that is, and then obviously these two pieces come together. I will point out, if you haven't built a Citadel miniature, basically this yellow part is where you put the glue, so that sort of helps to know what to glue. You can't obviously see it as much this side, but these are basically the connection points and where you're going to put the glue. And then the blue is the previous step, so this whole step here is now indicated in blue. So you can see the tongue and this bit of scenic base, the Christmas tree and Bounca's foot. You can see that all in blue. So it does help when you're building to know what you've built in the image, and also just to know where to glue. In case you're a bit of a newbie, it definitely helps. Now we have the third step, which is 12, which is basically the Red Gobbo holding this piece of dynamite stick, and you get a nice bit of smoke coming off this one. So piece 10 is a grenade in his pocket. If you refer to the image here, you can basically see the grenade here in his pocket here. So you stick in the pocket to his coat here, and also you're putting the gun in the holster on the back of his coat. And then obviously his arm and the rest of his coat comes down here, piece 12 right there. So step 4, choice of parts, which is pretty cool. So you either get to put on a nose on Bounca or you can keep it off. So I'm not sure if I want to put it on or not. It looks kind of cool without it, his little nose. But I also like the nod to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, so I might add that on because it's sort of a bit of comedy right there. And then piece 13 and 14, and the nose was 15. So piece 13 is the Red Gobbo's face. You've got to love this Christmas Santa hat that he has. And yeah, he has his medals. He has a bit of a decoration for an ear, and obviously he has the Santa beard. It's all quite fun and quite cool. So piece 14 is some more decoration. Basically it goes on the side of Bounca here. It looks like some Christmas lights that he's pulled off the tree and he's running along like an idiot with them. So yeah, it's a really cool model. If we go here, we actually have the war scroll for the Red Gobbo on Bounca. So you get the full painting guide, can be found on citadelcolor.com/guides, as I mentioned earlier. Then you can see the Citadel Color version of the Red Gobbo on Bouncer. But now we'll take a look at the Red Gobbo Sprue. I like the lip around here. It's separating the scenic part of the base from the lip of the base or the rim. You can see these balls and these grenades and the pin. It's quite nice. It's textured, so it looks like snow. It's obviously a little bit bigger than the Red Gobbo because he's on a squig now, so the base is a little bit bigger. But there's Bouncer. It looks really cool. It has these antlers that they've stuck on. It looks like it's been bolted onto this part here, this little brace on him. But look at that detail. You can see all these little bumps. You can see all these little pimples or bumps on him. Under his chin there. The teeth, nice and sharp. The gum line. One of his eyes are bulging out. The other's a little bit smaller with the eyelids around it. It's a really cool looking squig though, for sure. You see a bit of a mould line around his neck. A little bit of a mould line on his tail here. Yeah, I like all these little bumps on him. Really nice and detailed. He's got this wrap. He's got this wrapped around his tail. It's a ball, but he's got this wrapped around. The Red Gobbo's little feet. You even see a little bit of a hole in the foot there, if you can see it. Sort of where his toe is. It's even got some studs under his boots. That's really cool. Then we have the Red Gobbo's face with his pointy ears and his pointy nose. It looks like these ribbons are a little bit more detailed than the last miniature. Just looks like they're a little bit more crisp. Gotta love his beard, but it's just basically hanging on with these straps on the side. So there's that Christmas decoration. So it basically looks like it's a bit of the Christmas tree, like a branch, and then the lights are wrapped around. You can see these little parts of the lights, and then you have the balls. And then there's the rest of his body. It's basically his body with a leg. And he's running, and he's tangled in the Christmas tree, so he's just all tangled up in all these decorations. You can see that it's a tree, and it's got some leaves on it. Cool models that you get sometimes at the end of the year. I believe last year it was Bugman, so one of the dwarves. It was Jacob Bugman, so he's basically a dwarf that we got last year for a Santa sort of inspired one. But they've moved back to having the Red Gobbo, and yeah, I love having these just different orcs just to collect and have. Obviously some people want to play with them, but I don't mind just even having them on my shelf. Just a cool little novelty. Just to collect. If I had more money just to spend on stupid stuff, I'd get a couple of these and convert them up. But I don't mind the Christmas feel to it. Some people I know don't like the whole Christmas theme, but it's just a bit of fun really. But yeah, there he is holding this grenade. It's almost like a flare the way it's going off. We have his belt here, the little star. The Grot Revolution. You have the pocket with the grenade in it. And then this must be his tongue. So his tongue is also swallowing some of the decorations. So if you didn't want that, it doesn't look like it's too hard to sort of clip off with clippers and clean out a little bit. As I said, I'll probably just build it as is. Now this is the one that goes on Bouncer's nose. It's kind of cool because it's got the shape of the nose on the back here. So you know it's going to fit snugly. The back of these decorations. So you can see his leg here and the decorations. You can see again the lights here. The back of the Red Gobbo looks pretty cool. I might build this and do a bit of a sub-assembly. I might leave Bouncer's face off. And I might leave this off depending how much covered, because when I stick the models together I try and do that to speed up the process. In the end I end up kind of slowing myself down in a way because I hate trying to get into these little nooks and crannies with a paintbrush. Just really irks me. But anyway, that is Warhammer Commemorative Series The Red Gobbo and Bouncer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you could please like, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Also, I'd love to hear what you think of this model, so leave a comment if you've already had it. I'd love to see yours. You can share it to me on social media. I'm G The Hypersapien on Facebook and on Instagram, so you can send me a message. I'd love for you to join Hyper Hobbies. That's a Facebook group that I've made basically for the community, for everyone to share and interact with. If you want to share your miniatures there, please feel free to add to the group. Also, I wanted to take the time on this video to say Merry Crumpmas. I hope you all have a fantastic day. But as always, I appreciate you watching. This was G The Hypersapien, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.